Hi, I'm Camilla, the founder of Kin Learning and the author of several English and maths books geared towards 11 plus students. This is our summary video from the first of our vocabulary booster course sessions. If you would like to join us for the full session and receive worksheets, a full hour-long weekly live class with me, then please have a look in the description to see how you can sign up. The course is completely online, so you can join us from anywhere. As this is a revision video, I am going to go through the words and definitions very quickly, but in the live sessions we go through these in depth and have plenty of discussion and example sentences for each word. First up, we've got words that describe a relationship that you have with a family member. So mother, think mama if you're not sure which one to match up. So mama and mother, so we have mother goes with maternal. So if someone acts in a motherly way, they are maternal. If someone acts in a fatherly way, think about the nickname Papa to help to remind you. So father goes with paternal, paternal as in Papa. Brother is a little trickier, it's fraternal, and sister is sororal, although you don't hear that word used that often. Fraternal can describe a brotherly relationship between two people that aren't brothers or people that are. And fraternal is used to describe twins that aren't identical. So you can have identical twins and fraternal twins. Fraternal twins, even though it relates to brother, they could be two girl twins that just don't look identical. So it could be girl-girl twins, boy-girl, or boy-boy. It just describes any set of twins that aren't identical. Now we're going to learn some morphemes. So those are roots, prefixes or suffixes, and the meanings of them. So most of these morphemes come from Latin, and you can see those on the left. And then they have particular definitions. If we can learn those definitions or a selection of them, then it helps us to decode new words in future. It's really handy, so it's a great idea to learn these. So seed. Seed goes with to go. Seed as in proceed, proceed, or exceed. Now the last two there are spelt with E-E-D at the end. So you can have it, some words have C-E-D-E at the end and some words have C-E-E-D. So seed means to go. Anti, think anti-clockwise here. So anti means against. In a story you may have an antagonist, and the antagonist works against the hero of the story, so what we would commonly think of as the villain. Anti with an E, that means something different. That means before. Sub has two meanings. I'm going to change my pen colour here just so it's a little clearer. See, so sub can mean under, as in submarine, and it can also mean close to. A submarine goes under water. Marine means water, so you can use that to help you to remember the meaning of sub. D means down, as in put the numbers in descending order. Or decrease, the number of something goes down when you decrease it. Send goes with climb, as in descending, so the numbers climb down. And pre finally goes with before. For example, the prehistoric period is before we started keeping a record of history. If a baby is premature, then it is born before it has fully grown. So try and remember those morphemes and their meanings, because they're really going to help you with some of the definitions that are coming up. One of the first definitions you'll need is generation. So that is a group of people who were born and lived around the same time. You may want to pause this video and write down that definition before going further. So in each family you have several generations. So the people that are around the same age, just roughly around the same age. So you and your cousins and your siblings, your brothers and sisters, would be one generation. Your parents and their brothers and sisters and their cousins would be another generation. So they are not the same age as the cousins generally. Then your grandmother, grandfather, that would be another generation, and so on. An ancestor. It's a person in your family who lived a long time before you were born. Although your parents and grandparents are older than you and were born before you, we generally wouldn't say that they're your ancestors. We'd say that perhaps your great-grandparents or your great-great-grandparents were ancestors. So although technically your parents and grandparents are your ancestors, we wouldn't really use the word for people that are still living or have lived recently. It's the ancestors from a long time ago. A descendant is the opposite of an ancestor. So that's a person that comes from a particular family member. So if someone in your family that lived a long time ago, they had children and then their children's children and then those children's children, so their grandchildren and great-grandchildren, those would all be that person's descendants. So it's your blood relations that come after you in future generations. Now, a predecessor. Remember I'd said we have to think about the morphemes here. So pre meant before, and ses comes from seed, meaning to go. So a predecessor is a person that went before you. So usually in a position. So you could have a predecessor in a job. In the royal family, they have a predecessor. So that's the person that was king or queen before the current king or queen. A successor, the opposite of a predecessor. So remember, suck came from sub, meaning close to or under. So in the chain of command, this person comes under the other person. So they came after. So in any job, if someone leaves and then a new person comes in, that's their successor. Proceed. Again, we've got seed meaning to go and pre meaning before. So to proceed is to come before something in time. You might want to think of some sentences where you could use proceed. For example, grey clouds usually precede rain. Now, not to be confused with precede, proceed, still got that go suffix there, but pro means forward. So to proceed is to go forward. You can write the definition as to carry on or begin. Now we've got just two definitions left. An antecedent, remember ante meant what? It meant before, and seed meaning go. So an antecedent goes before someone else. It's also a synonym of ancestor. And finally, succession. That's the order in which you inherit a position. People often talk about succession in terms of the royal family. So then whenever a new child is born for Prince William, then that person is added to the line of succession. So that means if all of the people that were before them couldn't become king or queen, then that baby would become king or queen. Right now, Queen Elizabeth is queen, but her first son, Prince Charles, is first in the line of succession. Then second is Prince William, and then third is Prince George, Prince William's son. So each person's children become next in the line of succession. Sometimes it's a little more complicated than that, for example, if someone doesn't want to be king or queen, but there is a clear line of succession for the royal family, and when someone new is born, then they are added to the line of succession generally. What you might want to do after watching this video is to find out a bit more about your ancestors in your family and perhaps research the line of succession in the royal family. If you look on the internet, then you can generally find out a bit more about it. So perhaps ask your parents about your ancestors, find out the names of your great-grandparents and your great-great-grandparents, and also find out the names of your maternal and paternal grandparents. So your maternal grandparents will be the ones on your mum's side, and your paternal grandparents will be the ones on your dad's side. Thank you for watching this video and well done for learning throughout. I hope you've learnt some new words and have written down the definitions that you can practice using during the week. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel with the button underneath the video so you can receive notifications when more videos like this come up. And if you visit kinlearning.com, then you can find some of our online courses and hopefully join us for the full online vocabulary booster course for years 4 to 6.